Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm in a good mood this morning.
Are you?
Yes.
What's going on?
So we just pulled off I would say, very successful product hunt launch yesterday for SavvyCal.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened.
We kind of worked the best practices plan that Corey helped put together. I can kind of tell the story. So, I mean, the first piece is you always want to publish right around midnight Pacific time, because that's when the day starts for product hunt. For me, that's 2 a.m. So I kind of was at a decision point of like, do I stay up and kind of start engaging on the post and just basically pull an all-nighter or not? As it's wise to do, we enlisted the help of a highly ranking product hunt site member to post it for us. So we got Heaton Shaw to do that. Thank you, Heaton. I think it carries a little bit of extra special cred. I don't know how the algorithm works entirely, but I think there's some kind of like allow list that lets, when certain people hunt things, it kind of is guaranteed not to get kind of set on the back burner, I guess. So that was good. So he pulled through for us, posted it right around midnight, sent out a couple emails to the customer list and my personal list, letting people know that, hey, we're featured on Product Hunt today. And it was funny. I decided I was going to go to sleep and just kind of wake up early and start engaging. But body clocks are really funny. It's amazing. Like, I was able to fall asleep. I was tired that day. I'd done a bunch of prep work. But like 1 minute before 2 a.m., I just like popped awake and I was like, well, I'm awake. I might as well go see what's going on. So between like 2 and 3 a.m., I was kind of up, like posted my first maker comment, which is kind of a wise thing to do so that you get to kind of make your pitch to the community. And then right away, upvotes started coming in, comments, ton of engagement, which was really encouraging to see. Like I came away from this day just feeling, a ton of gratitude, and like I have really nice customers and people. There's a lot of people who are like fans of what I'm doing, and the amount of support I felt was just off the charts, and felt really good. So we have a fantastic community.
We do. I would agree with that.
So I mean, we like within an hour or so had like 70 upvotes, and there were a couple other products on there. Of course, other people listing around that time, but we were kind of cruising pretty easily into the number one spot, and we basically stuck there for almost the entire day. There was another product that kind of started creeping up, and then like right at the end of the day, they got like a bunch of votes. So I don't know exactly how that happened, but they must have been emailing their list or something, But so we held the pole position for almost the entire day, and had like 163 comments on the post, and by and large, very, very positive, which, you never know with these things. Like, I think Product Hunt is a decently positive community. Hacker News can't really say the same thing. Like if you're featured on Hacker News, you can expect to get, a good mix of negative and positive comments, but people were very, very impressed with the product and had a lot of nice things to say, which obviously makes me feel good as a maker. And so, yeah, nothing like really big happened that like soured the day for me, which is nice.
It's so good to get that feedback from customers and like be reminded that the thing you made is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard not to focus on the things you're trying to fix or improve all the time.
Right. Because I mean, coming out of it also, like tons of emails from people, questions about, will it be able to handle various use cases? What's the timeline for that? People are very excited to use it, but they have obviously their things here and there that they want added. So it comes back to my like principle of like disappointing customers at a rate they can accept, and there's so many things that I want to ship tomorrow. And I think I need to kind of decompress as I'm coming off of this launch. I need to do some planning work, take another look at the roadmap, and definitely some priorities emerged that I knew I wanted to build, but like became more evident that like, oh, this is important for me to add sooner rather than later. Like the biggest one, the most requested one, is like a relatively small feature. It's being able to redirect to a custom confirmation page after booking. Like like 12 people asked me about that. And I was like, oh, so I could tell those people that's definitely going out. That's in the next, small batch of work, like within a week, because I know I can knock that out pretty quickly. So luckily some small things. And then also, of course, some bigger things, different calendar support, more team functionality. Those are kind of the big areas that got talked about. But yeah, so I have my work cut out for me. It's going to be a busy year.
That's awesome that a relatively easy thing was requested a lot.
Yes, I love that.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yep. In terms of like traffic and signups and stuff, I have some numbers to report on that front. So it drove around 2,500 uniques to the site. From that came around 310 new signups, free signups, registrations to the product, and then 24 trials so far. So
nice.
I'm happy with those numbers. Yeah, I think it's good.
I assume that's a record trial-wise.
For sure. Yep.
Very cool. Of those people on trials, have you seen people inviting team members?
A couple folks have, and I think the couple that have, I've spoken with over email, and I think they're, I think the number one requested team feature is like, I want to be able to just add a couple teammates onto a calendar event and take the intersection of our availabilities and have everyone, on the event. So that's like the next team feature. And I think I will need to get on that pretty quickly to retain some of these teams, but so far so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have to imagine those team features are going to be pretty high ROI.
Yeah. Right.
As nice as the $12 a month solo person is, it gets a little nicer as you scale it up.
Yep. I love me some expansion revenue.
Yeah. Best revenue.
Yep. It's the best kind. Oh, and then I just got good news this morning. Product Hunt sent me a note saying, hey, our newsletter went out, and they usually kind of summarize, like recap the highlights from the previous day. And we're like the top feature in the newsletter. So they wrote a little narrative about us, pulled some quotes out of the comments, and have a picture of the product right there front and center. So that'll be interesting to see what the kind of the halo effect is from that, because I think they have several 100,000 people on their email list. So I like when I logged into this to pull the stats this morning, I noticed like 70 people were currently on the site. So I was like, oh, something's still driving traffic. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see what the impact is from that.
Totally. Yeah. Nice. Well, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, thanks. This is probably by and large the biggest Product Hunt launch I've ever done. I've had other products in the past on there, but I've never been this rigorous about the process for posting it. I think I've usually just either someone else has hunted it for me randomly, and then I'm just like, oh, cool, now it's there. Or I've just posted like a schlub at 9 a.m. my time. So this is the most engineered launch that I've done. And, I'm really happy that it worked out, putting in that extra attention. I recorded a video, which took me a while to do. I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that kind of stuff. So just knocking out a quick demo video is I could easily spend hours on that. And so, but I managed to get that done, and some custom graphics and stuff. So spent quite a bit of time prepping for this, and I'm looking forward to getting back into product mode, because I know there's so much that I want and need to build. And I've been spending most of my time the last week on kind of prepping for this launch. So yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I feel like we should thank the listeners.
We should thank the listeners. Yes.
Because it turns out that Art of Product was voted best podcast at the SaaS Podcast Awards.
Yes.
Which was super cool. So yeah, thanks everyone. That was great. We pitched you and you responded, and you like us. You really like us.
Yes.
And that feels awesome. So thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate the support for this made up internet award.
Yes.
One of the few feedback loops that we can get from listeners, right? Because podcasts can be a bit lonely. We know we put these things out there, but we don't always hear from a ton of listeners. So
yeah, that was very cool. What are you going to buy with your prize money?
Some more cred on Twitter.
Nice. Exactly.
I don't know.
We should put this in our podcast Twitter account bio.
Yes.
Winner 2021.
Of course. We got to add it there.
Yeah. Or something. But yeah, no, that was fun. So we did a little chat with Rob yesterday and talked about the podcast history and stuff on MicroConf on Air if you want to check that out. I assume that's archived. People can
I think
find
so.
that.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's up on YouTube.
Talk about the origin story if you're curious.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of made up internet points and awards, this was a good one. So thank you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Between that and Product Hunt upvotes, like I'm winning the fake internet points.
You are swimming in meaningless validation.
Yes.
Very cool. So we just got back from our retreat from last.
Curious to hear how that went.
It was great. I feel like we got to consensus really fast. Like there weren't like any huge issues, and like we kind of all seemed to be roughly on the same page. And I mean, it's been a great year. So like looking back over the year and seeing where we came from and like the opportunity we have, like it felt really good. To me, the vibe was very positive, and we had sort of 2 full days blocked out. And by like late afternoon on the first day, I feel like we kind of had our like, okay, these are the things we want to do. We agree on these things, and we're excited about these projects. The highlight of that is probably that we decided to start a Linux client this year.
Wow.
So starting in the second quarter, we're gonna break ground the second quarter. Probably do some research this quarter and other stuff on that, but get going pretty soon.
That's big. I mean, that's been a looming like decision point probably since you guys started, right? Like, do you feel like this is the biggest like strategic decision you've made of late about the product? Like,
yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
We've been building towards this point for a while. So we've been pushing more things into kind of a cross-platform layer of the app. It's not just kind of like from a cold start thing. So with any luck, it won't be horrible. Like the Mac client took us 8 months before we launched the alpha. But at that point, we didn't know anything. We were 3 web developers. So there was so much to learn there. But now we're kind of just porting an existing application that has been mostly figured out to another platform. So I'm hoping that it is not horrific. I'm optimistic that we have, done enough of the pre-work, and that, yes, there will need to be lots of new decisions around how does it actually work, because there are things where there are no analogs in Linux land, and who knows how painful this gets as we try to support more than one distribution. But I'm cautiously optimistic that it won't be too terrible.
Yeah. You've obviously been considering this just because going cross-platform versus staying on one platform is one consideration, right? But then you've also had a decent amount of people requesting this. So like, are you finding that a meaningful percentage of your like existing customers are feeling this pain right now? Like they have members on their team that are using Linux and really like are at risk of potentially like churning from Tuple if you don't add this? Like,
yes. So there are plenty of Mac only shops. So we could stay Mac only if we wanted to, but like Linux has been in the top 1 or 2 requests by popularity basically since we started. And as I've touched on before, the thing I like about it is it doesn't just make Tuple usable for people on Linux and thus making their lives better, but it makes their teammates who were on Macs have a better experience too, because now they can pair with more people. There's not just a new slice of customers that we can help. It helps most of the existing customers, or many of them, who have friends or colleagues or whatever that use Linux. That feels good about it. And also, so when we started the company, we had this thesis of like, there's enough remote developers now, and that share is going to grow over time. I think that's true for Linux as well. Like the share of developers using Linux has been growing each year, and I think it's going to keep going. And it also feels like a good like market opportunity, or like the ground feels kind of fertile to me, in that I don't think there are a lot of wonderful Linux apps right now. I think it's kind of a neglected platform overall compared to the others. And so maybe the bar for what's considered great is a bit lower. Not that that's our goal, but like I think we can, wow people even more by delivering really great software there.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of DIY, like cobbled together open source type of tooling. And a lot of times that's not known for having fantastic user experience. It's like lots of customizability and stuff, but not necessarily like a high degree of polish on user experience. So,
and there's this narrative, I think, of like Linux people not wanting to pay for stuff. I have a hunch that's changing as well. I think it's as more like mainstream people move into it, there are like fewer open source free software diehard purists. I have this hunch that it's worth it, and like there are people that understand the value of software and willing to pay for it there, that are not getting that many options. We'll see. It's going to be an adventure. And so this to me was like there's like sort of top two things that were always requested a ton: Linux, and then like more people on a call. And more people on a call we have plans to try to get to 4. So we do 3. I think we can get to 4 without big pain. Hopefully, we're going to test it. Going beyond that requires like a lot of stuff that we kind of don't want to do right now.
Can you do peer-to-peer with 4 still?
That's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
We're hoping we can like not have servers in the thing, and get away with 4 if people have like good enough connections. Unclear. My guess is sometimes and sometimes not. I think we could maybe give people a little bit of what they want by going to 4, assuming it works, and then push the more than 4 off a little bit longer. Because if you're at a company and you want, like, let's say you really want 5 people on a call, that would make it really nice. Okay, that would be great, but you can at least still use it, right? You can still pair with people. You can still have 3, maybe 4 someday. But if you have Linux developers on your team, they just can't use it at all. So going from 0 to usable is to me kind of more valuable than more usable for people in more circumstances.
Yeah. That makes sense. We had one developer on our team, backend team at Drip, that insisted on using Linux. Like he had a Mac issued from the company, but then would dual install Linux on there and use that as his main OS. And of course, his Bluetooth devices never worked, and his webcam didn't work. But other than that, he enjoyed it.
Hopefully this is not a nightmare of compatibility.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah.
It's all feels like opportunity and excitement now. Typical early in the project naivete. I'm sure it'll be painful later, but we'll see. Interesting things are happening, which is that we're going to start coding next quarter. So I think now is the time to start recruiting people for the alpha. And I have been like thinking back to my Mac alpha days, and it's like, well, we used to charge for alpha access, and like maybe we should do that again. And I announced on Twitter that we were going to do a Linux client, and somebody in the mentions responded, "How do I throw $5,000 at this to help make sure it happens?"
Wow. There's a shut up and take my money moment.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, I have to respond to this person.
Yeah.
And so we DM'd a bit, and I told him like kind of what we were thinking. He was like, yeah, sounds good. Send me an invoice. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. And this person's actually a client or a customer already of the Mac app, and has Linux developers on his team and wants them to have it too. That brought me back to those fun days of like getting those early sales. I was like, oh, this. I remember this excitement. I think I'm going to do some sort of, paid alpha access thing, like jump the line and, get the earliest access to it like I did before.
Yeah, it's a good marketable moment to start generating buzz around it. And yeah,
exactly.
How does this change at all your thinking on like allocating resources? I know you guys have headroom, you have profit to play with hiring and stuff. So does this mean like you're going to hire some engineers to help do this? Or are you going to take, your core engineers, Spencer and Joel and whoever else, to like shift away from the Mac client to focus on Linux? Or
so Spencer and Mikey are the ones that work on the Mac client right now. The plan right now is to have Spencer lead the Linux thing, while Mikey probably mostly stays on Mac, but maybe joins him for some of it. Not sure exactly what that breakdown will look like. It's important to keep going on the Mac client. It's not done. So we will keep working there for sure. I think we will hire a person to dedicate to the Linux client. I feel like we have enough horsepower right now in the sort of earliest alpha days to have Spencer plus a little bit of Mikey doing it. That feels okay to me, especially because we know much more now. Spencer's more experienced. He's also been leveling up his Linux knowledge quite a bit. Before, it was when we first started, it was scary because we don't know any of these technologies. We don't know we don't even know C. We have to learn C++. We have to learn real-time streaming. But now it's not like that. So I'm optimistic that we don't need more people yet. But I think the long-term plan is probably Mikey focuses on the Mac client, new person focuses on Linux development, Spencer is kind of managing, tying it together, lending help where needed, that kind of thing.
I'm very impressed with Spencer's ability to learn new hard technology. Like, this is hard technology. Yes. This is not Ruby. This is like low level stuff.
I think he is more fearless and methodical about that than almost anyone I've met, actually.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, we have to learn a new thing. Okay, I'm gonna go buy 5 books and this course and start like building toy projects in this technology, and like he really dives in really hard, and he does it really fast.
Yeah. That's impressive. I feel like I could maybe do that with like one big, like, okay, I'm going to learn the guts of Mac OS. And then to me, it sounds just the thought of like putting myself in his shoes and thinking like, now I'm going to learn the guts of like desktop Linux. To me, that just sounds like a major endeavor that would require a ton of energy, right? It's like, it's not.
He was pretty psyched, actually. I think he's excited about Linux development. Like, he bought himself a Linux machine and has been like, he like compiled his own Linux distribution and like has been like, doing all kinds of Linuxy stuff lately. So I think he's kind of got the bug anyway. And that helped push this project to the top of the list, where it's like, okay, adding more people on a call, no one is excited to work on. Everyone's kind of like, oh boy. But like Linux, Spencer was like, I would be so stoked to work on this. It's like, all right, well, I mean, that's worth a lot.
Yeah. Right. If it was the opposite, if you didn't have anyone who was actually jazzed about like diving in and doing that, I think it would be a much harder sell. Right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And like, there's always this part of me which is like, there's a ton of Mac developers. Like, do we have 10% of the Mac market? I would be surprised. I would say no. So it's like, we could probably get 10x bigger without doing a Linux client. But at the same time, like, we lose sales deals sometimes because of it. There are customers that just like won't consider us because of it. We get requests from our existing customers. So going into the retreat, I had kind of thought about setting like a growth goal for the year. But then once we said like, okay, we're gonna start a Linux client, it's kind of like, to me, that's like the growth goal. It's like, I almost don't care quite what the exact numbers look like if we are expanding our potential market by this much. And allowing for a lot of expansion of revenue on the existing customers.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
it's product led.
Yeah, it's an inputs instead of outputs kind of thing. So like, given that we have this on the calendar, I'm like, okay, I don't really see how this could be a terrible year growth wise if we pull this off and do a good job. And 2020 was a preposterous year growth wise. So if we're going to grow slower this year, and that's okay.
Yeah, right. Has Windows support like emerged at all? I mean, I know there's a bunch of big .NET shops that probably use Windows for development.
Here's a weird thing. So this, I've been looking at like the Stack Overflow annual developer survey. That tilts Windows wise, I think. But even given that, when they ask people what operating systems they use, it's 25% Mac, 25% Linux, and 50% Windows. So on a pure market share basis, you could say, you guys are idiots. What are you doing? Clearly, Windows is the opportunity. First of all, I sort of like the smaller markets. Like, Mac made sense for us because we all use Mac. It felt right. Like, to me, it's where the maybe most discerning software folks ended up. I would
Choose your
argue.
words carefully.
Maybe that was the kind of thing I wanted to make. A boutique-y, expensive, high quality kind of tool, and it felt like that would resonate most with Mac users. And then Linux is basically getting dragged out of us by our current customers. It's way more requested than Windows. So it's like, if the drumbeat were Windows, I would think about it more, but it really is not. It's much more Linux. And then I just don't like Windows. Like, I have a PC for gaming, and I think it's really ugly. I think a lot of the UX is bad. I think the average level of software on there, like the tools I use on there, I'm just like, oh, this is so gross. People are okay with this. And that's the argument I made for going to Linux, but it just feels like it's like the unwashed masses to me of the developer world in a way, or something. It's that's not fair at all. But like, it just excites me the least of the platforms.
Yeah. I think there's definitely teams where like a lot of people are using Macs, and then some are perhaps using Linux. I don't know how many teams would have like a bunch of people on Mac OS and then some on Windows. Like that kind of mix is probably less likely. And so it's like, if you were to get into Windows, it'd be like shifting into a completely different segment that doesn't have much crossover, right?
Yep. That's how it feels to me. I feel like there's like a bit of an exodus from Mac to Linux, but not from Mac to Windows or from Linux to Windows. It does seem like Microsoft is stepping up its game a lot, though. Like people are saying like the latest versions are good, and now they have like an embedded Linux kernel or something, like they have, or like a POSIX environment. Like their shell has gotten better, I guess. It could be that the trend is good. Speaking of trends, when I look at like the developer survey on Stack Overflow, the share of Windows is dropping every year. Doesn't excite me for a bunch of reasons. Will we eventually make it a Windows client? Probably, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think there's probably still a lot of money to be made in that area, but that's not what you're necessarily optimizing for. I mean, you want to enjoy the process too.
Exactly.
That's important.
Right. If no one is stoked about making the Windows client, it's, we're less likely to succeed.
Yeah, right.
So what a luxury to not have to optimize for pure dollars. It feels great. Like that's like a reinforcement to me of not taking money and like having people being like, the biggest opportunities over here, you have to do it. It's like, no, we don't. We're cool.
Yeah. That sweet independence.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And then so the last thing for me is, and actually, do you have anything else besides your product thing you want to talk about?
No, I think I updated myself.
Fair
fully.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So last thing for me then is that we're going to do a trial with a product designer.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah. So we found someone that we were excited about, and we talked about it, and we agreed that we would do a 2-month trial. Just kind of like no commitment sort of thing. Just like, let's see how it works. Let's see if, and then, both sides were kind of, extended interviewing each other.
That's a smart way to do it if it's provided that the other person is on board with that and like it
totally
works well with their, yeah, that's great.
Yeah. It's kind of a lot to ask. Like it's kind of, right. It's a luxury. It's a tough thing to make happen, I think. But given that it worked out, it feels really nice to me.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So more on that soon, hopefully. And hopefully everything you see just gets more beautiful.
There you go. Well, except the part I designed, right? Like that.
No, that will never. That's inviolate. I don't think I've ever said that word before. It will never be changed.
Sweet. Great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think that's it.
All right. Cool.
Well, thanks again, everyone, for voting for us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we appreciate it so much.
Yeah. Notes of the show.
Notes for the show can be found at artofproductpodcast.com.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.